Hello, everyone, and welcome to 'Cause I Said So, episode 16.
Woo!
Yay.
Mom's in the driver's seat again.
Yes. Okay, so first of all,
you want to get right into it.
yeah,
Mom.
our presenting sponsor is
Mamitas.
our favorite.
Hard seltzer tequila drink in the whole entire world.
That's right.
Somebody asked me this weekend, are those actually good?
They're really good,
Oh my
and they
God.
come in 4 flavors.
Mango,
mango,
lime.
Oh, but we have a spicy marg, but this is not one of their normal flavors. This
Not
is a
out yet.
special one, yeah. So mango, lime, paloma, and pineapple.
They have 95 calories, less than 1 gram of sugar, and they're gluten-free, and they're delicious. You can get them on Gopuff or drinkmamitas.com, or we always link the store locator.
Yes,
So grab some Mamitas for the weekend.
that's right, and they really are good.
They're so good. We love our presenting sponsor. They also make fire merch. I wore one of the hoodies to a baby shower, and everyone was like, I got to get one of those.
Yeah, they are nice.
Mom, what are we talking about today?
Well, first I want to point out that Queen Elizabeth is 96. She has COVID, and she is still working. So
Yeah,
that is so impressive to me.
Is that something that you inspire to do?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why she's 96 and still chugging along, because she is still keeping her brain alert.
That's actually kind of fitting for the episode, because this episode's going to be a little bit about keeping your mom hip, keeping old people young, not letting age get the best of you. And Queen Elizabeth is the epitome of that this week.
She's definitely the epitome.
She's
Almost 40 years older than I am.
And she has COVID.
Yeah.
And when you had COVID, you
I was in bed for like 6 months, or I was at least at home in my house going, I can't think.
You still to this day, like, I have COVID brain. I'm like, you can't blame COVID anymore if it's been 1 calendar year. But Queen Elizabeth's like, I'll still do my duties.
Yeah, I'm still doing my duties for my country.
Nobody hits it harder than the Queen.
Nobody hits it harder than the Queen.
She's
I'm
a
pretty
queen
sure
for
her
the country.
son cannot keep up.
I guess not.
No.
What? Why are you laughing?
Do you think he can?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I think that he probably. No, I think her son could keep up with her, but that's because she's 96. So, like, yeah.
Probably not. Probably not.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. Not mentally
Okay.
or intellectually
I don't know.
or driven-wise.
Okay.
It usually skips a generation anyway when you're that driven, don't you think?
So I'm so smart. Just kidding.
I think that's probably true.
That's a joke. Mom, I have to say something.
What?
Last week's episode, we fought a lot.
I know. I hate that. And I hate it when people hear us fighting.
Okay, but we're human, and it's okay. And let me just say,
Mm-hmm.
today when you walked in this office, you are glowing. You have your spreadsheets. You have some new TikTok apps. I mean,
Yeah.
girl,
I'm trying to get with it.
you are with it.
That's also from being here a little bit longer. Instead of traveling back and forth, it's helping me a little bit.
I think the 2 weeks on, the 2 weeks off was killer. Like like we had said, you just lost momentum. But this whole 2 months here,
Yeah,
do you think it's helping?
it is. I kind of went through a funk after Joe left. No, I went into a funk that first week I was here because you were being mean. That second week we were still arguing, and then Joe left. So I just kind of, everything's sort of still trying to get going, but I kind of feel like I'm getting on track now.
That's good. And next week's episode, we're really excited about, because we have the financial advisor. So that will be exciting.
Yes, I'm very excited. I can't wait. That's going to be so interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to put something out on Sunday night, I think, asking for questions.
We are going to do that, like what you want to ask the financial advisor.
Yes. You're going to learn a lot. Okay, I have this saying that I think is relative to what we are doing on this show.
You have a saying?
A saying.
Okay.
Mothers and daughters keep each other hip and wise. You keep me hip and I keep you wise, whether you like to think that or not.
Wait. Me, the daughter, I keep you hip,
You keep me hip. You need to keep me hip.
and you keep me wise.
Then I'll interject some wise things for you.
Yeah, I don't know that you keep me wise as much as you make me wise.
Okay.
Don't you think? Like, maybe I'm not wise yet. Dad called me the other day and said, 28-year-olds don't know anything. I was thinking about that the other day. I thought about how little I knew at 28, and I was like, awesome. I don't think I know everything. So now I don't think you can keep me wise. I think you can make me wise. Provide me with the tools to be wise.
Oh, okay.
I'm open.
Are you? Because
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't seem like you are.
Oh, no, I love to learn. I consider myself a sponge. Anything you want to tell me, Mom, I want to absorb.
Everyone needs to record that or something.
Luckily, we were.
Yeah, luckily we were. Okay, one of the things you're going to have to keep me hip about is it seems like eyebrows have changed lately. So they've got all these spikes that come up, and they're fuller than they used to be, kind of like back in the 80s a little bit. And then now that I've gotten older, mine have sort of disappeared. So am I going to go do microblading and get them tattooed? Or am I going to just keep, like, penciling them in? Which is very hard.
Well, hold on. I do. When you first told me that we were going to be talking about eyebrows, I was like, what? Now I get it. So you read this to me. Facial attractiveness is directly affected by the eyebrows. And I thought to myself, so I looked at some pictures, and it can make a drastic difference.
It's huge. Do you remember when you guys were little and I used to get my eyebrows dyed? Day one, you guys were like, Mom, you look so mean.
You did. You would look mean because they were
so dark.
Yeah.
Like Mommy Dearest mean.
But you have started, and this isn't a bad thing, but you and I have both noticed, like, your eyebrows are getting thinner.
Yeah, they're like disappearing off my face.
And that's an age thing, you say?
Uh-huh.
So are like 90-year-olds, like, does the queen have eyebrows, or do they kind of fall off?
I think it's just, they don't fall off. I just think it's kind of like your hair, maybe it thins sometimes. My eyebrows are thinning for some reason.
This has just happened like the last month.
I know, it's weird.
Can you get eyebrow like implants, or like what are the options? Or what's microblading? Is it like, what is it?
I don't know. It must be some form of like a tattoo that doesn't last as long as a regular tattoo.
Here's the thing.
Which is good, because if eyebrow style changes, you don't want to be like all Mommy Dearest looking if they're going to be all thin. But I just think whatever looks good on your face is what they should be. And like mine are blonde, so I have to dye them anyway, and that helps. But you still got to fill them in.
Here's my thoughts on this.
Okay.
Because we only live once, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be the best looking version of yourself. Let's go do the microblading. Let's do it.
Okay, we have to find some place to go do that.
Luckily, I think we're in the mecca
of eyebrows?
Of anything.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
If you want to, the stuff you can make happen in New York, like what were you doing this weekend? Foam rolling, saunaing.
It wasn't a foam roller. It was just called rolling. It was like wooden little rollers on this machine, and it was pretty awesome. It's called body rolling.
You could do it.
And it had
you could do anything in New York. So microblading, it's just going to be a matter of who we want to do it.
Who does the best job?
All right.
Yes. Okay. Also, some of the guys were giggling at me in the office the other day because they were giving me a phone number to put into my phone, and I put a 1 before the area code, and they were like, ha, 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 my mom does that too. Why do y'all do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I thought I had to do that. And then they think it's so funny, like it dates me, like I'm that old because I'm putting a 1 in front of my numbers.
Okay, so I put a 1 in front of numbers because you always told me to.
Well, we used to have to.
Because it's the country code, right?
Yes. But if you're in the country, I guess you don't have to. But if you were dialing another area code, you used to have to put a 1 in front of it. I don't know why.
Do you not have to anymore?
I guess not. That's what they said.
If you're dialing from your area code to me, I have your same area code. Do you put a 1 in front of it?
No, but I do have to use the area code now.
Here's my question.
Which is weird. We used to not have to use the area code if you were in the same area code, but now you have to use the area code. But I thought anytime you use the area code, you had to use a 1.
I don't see the problem with just putting the 1 out there just in case, because doesn't it go through either way?
Well, it went through.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. Add the 1.
So that doesn't make me old.
It makes you, what is that, cautious?
Cautious?
Not cautious. Just like, yeah. That kind of reminds me of what's the Parent Trap saying? She's like, what's the 411? What did you used to do with that? You would call it?
You used to call 411. That was information.
Information.
To get somebody's number.
And now, oh, wow. Wow.
You call 411, you get, can I have the number for the deli bakery or whatever?
So when somebody says, what's the 411, they were saying, what's the info?
Uh-huh.
Give me the 411.
Information.
Wow. Okay.
The information number.
We should make a TikTok about that.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to start adding 50-something staying relevant on here. Every day, every podcast, I'm going to mention something.
That you think a 50-year-old could do to stay relevant?
Yes, and you're going to have to help me.
I love this.
Okay. So the first one is to not make typos when you're texting. So add an app or something that's going to catch it. Even though I have Grammarly on my phone, it doesn't catch it all the time. I usually hit send before I can even catch it. I type it so fast. But don't do that.
So
that's an old person thing, is to make a lot of big typos.
A lot of big typos. Put the periods. My favorite is like, hi, how are, period, you. And
I don't know why I do that.
Why is the period in the middle of the sentence?
I don't know. It just must be where it is on there. I must have big fat fingers and I can't do it right. I don't know.
Is it that, or is it that you can't see that you put the period in there?
Well, sometimes I can't see it, and then I put my glasses on and I'm like, damn, it's not worth it to go back and have to redo the whole thing.
So you just won't,
It's really hard to get the little line to go where it's supposed to go to fix it. For me, anyway.
How long, round trip, if you wanted to open up your phone, send me a text message that said, "Hey, Alex, what are you doing for dinner tonight?" ? How long is that going to take you?
I don't know. Like, I have to go, and then I'm going to
2, 3, 4, 5,
go to the app,
6,
and then I've got to put your
7,
name in.
8, 9, 10, 11,
And then
12,
I got to
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay.
Is it sent?
I just sent it. Yeah.
21 seconds. That's pretty fast. Is there any typos?
Yeah, just
Where are we going to dinner? No.
Okay. Okay. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I think that took forever.
Well, for you to make a TikTok, it would take you 20 minutes.
Yeah, it would.
Nothing wrong
That's
with
right.
that. You're
Okay.
getting better.
But here's the 2 things I think people should do besides don't make typos. So that's 3. Here's the second one. Know the difference between gaslighting and ghosting, because I kind of got them confused. I don't know if everyone else did or not, but is that funny? No, seriously, like,
they're like
ghosting.
completely 2 different things. Yeah.
Well, ghosting is just like ignoring someone, right?
Yeah. So if you get ghosted, wait, you explain ghosting to me.
I just am not going to answer you.
Give it some more color. Paint the scenario for me.
You texted me some questions and I didn't want to answer you, so I just didn't answer you ever.
Typically, it's in a dating scenario.
Okay.
And like, let's say we went on a couple dates,
Uh-huh.
and then I texted you, and I just like completely ghosted you, never answered you. You got ghosted by him. Would be kind of the scenario there. Like,
would that person keep texting him, or if he didn't answer once, then you're like you're ghosted.
You're ghosted.
Not that he didn't accidentally not read that text. So my kids ghost me sometimes.
Yeah, you get ghosted a lot.
I do get ghosted a lot.
It's
Yeah,
not,
but I feel like it's a more of a long term.
Yeah, it's not commonly used in that. So if I ghosted you, I'd have to fall off the face of the earth and you never saw me again.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And gaslighting. So gaslighting to me is like men being mean to women.
Do you know how gaslighting started? Like the term?
By men being mean to women.
So there was a guy,
Uh-huh.
and he had a gas lantern.
Okay.
And he would turn it up, and then his wife would come home, and she would see that it was like the flame was bigger. And then she'd leave, and then she'd come back, and he would turn the flame down. And she would be like, the flame is getting smaller. And he would be like, no, it's not. You're crazy. But he was turning it up and down, and he just told her that she was crazy. So then she started to believe that she was crazy, and the flame was actually the same. So that's where the term gaslighting came from.
Well, it seems like when you Google it, it's mostly about men treating women badly and making them think that it's all their fault.
That's it. It's a man doing something but telling the woman it's her fault.
But you guys use it a little more liberally.
Absolutely.
So give me an
Abstract.
example of how you guys use it.
Well, you could be like, if somebody was so if somebody did something wrong, you're kind of getting into it's difficult to explain because you get into scenarios of somebody people thinking different things are right and wrong. But if I stole something, okay, let's say I stole your watch.
Okay.
And then you text me and you're like, "Did you take my watch?" And I'm like, "No, you lost your watch." That would be like that's a very blatant form of me gaslighting you.
Okay.
Or being like, "No, you're just forgetful."
Okay.
But I have your watch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So gaslighting and ghosting are, our generation does, we have taken the literal meaning and put some color around it. It's a little more abstract now. But
Giving it kind of a new meaning, because I was kind of like, well, you could do a funny little TikTok on gaslighting, and then I was like, no, you can't, because that could be a really sensitive subject.
yeah, could be, definitely.
Yeah, so if it's going to be used correctly, probably shouldn't make fun of it.
Well, the root of it's really not that offensive, though.
No, that isn't that
if you
offensive.
think
How
of-
did it ever get so bad?
Well, I think that you take words and then they change. The
Yeah.
meanings of them change.
Like that book I'm reading, Words That Work.
Words that work.
There's a lot of words in our dictionary that we have changed the definition of just because the majority of Americans are educated on all different levels. So they didn't understand it.
Ah.
So they changed it.
So-
Like flammable and inflammable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is, the first one is no typos.
No typos. Know the difference between gaslighting and ghosting. And the third one is to take a selfie and post it and tag us. Now, I know you think that's funny because you guys have been taking selfies of yourself and you look like crap. It doesn't matter. I mean, like, you don't care if you just woke up and your hair's sticking straight up and you've got a booger hanging out of your nose. You guys will just post it and go on. Where we're like putting on our makeup and making sure we look good, and we got to, hold it just right, up, down, low. And it's terrible. We should just take a picture and post it and tag everybody and say, this is what I look like in the morning.
Mom.
What?
I love that. Here's why.
Why?
Okay. I feel like social media 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 3 years ago was like these filters and the perfect life was portrayed on there. And now people, you know, the more organic you are, the more real you are, just like it's so much easier and that's what people are more drawn to. You have been posting these selfies in the morning though with like your eye patches on and your coffee. And I feel like they're so real and they're so cute and I absolutely love them. And so if more people your age would do that, I feel like it's like, why not do it?
Why not do it? Because it's like, well, because there's so many young people on there and they're kind of like, oh my God, that woman's like ancient.
Who said that?
Somebody said that to me on TikTok, like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
You do this sometimes. You're like, people think, and it's like, no, one person
said that, and you're like, he said that's the oldest person I've seen on this app.
Yeah, that's it. That's probably, that guy's probably like a 32-year-old in Nebraska named Chris on the cornfield that just comments it, and you take it and think, no, Kim, you're empowering.
Okay.
I like your selfies. So you want people over 50 to start taking selfies and tagging because I said so in them?
Yes. Because it's good
Love
for you.
it.
It's good to practice that. Like, it gives you gives you some courage.
So let me do a little devil's advocate here.
Uh-huh.
Not devil's advocate, but so what would be the point of that?
Because I thought it was really hard to do those. I thought it was very hard to take a selfie with no makeup on and post it. That was really hard.
Was it vulnerable for you? Like, what was hard about it? Was it hard because it was hard to get the angle?
No, it's because you look at yourself and you go, my God, I look like shit, but yeah, I got to post this and I got to move on because Alex is getting upset with me that I'm not posting at 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And I can't always go get my makeup on and stuff. Plus, besides that, you did all those TikToks with me looking terrible, so who cares?
Okay, well, one, you never look terrible. You have aged wonderfully.
Well, that's sweet, but I'm just saying, I'm sitting here with no makeup on, looking like, grumpy frumpy, and then you're videoing me doing stuff. So that kind of broke the ice a little bit. And then you're like, just post your picture in the morning with your eye patches on.
Well, one, you've done, I have been watching, you've done a phenomenal job, and they make me happy. I think that your selfies are really cute.
Oh, thanks.
But we got to dig into it a little bit more. Does it make you appreciate yourself more?
I think...
Let me ask it differently. What's the incentive for another 50-plus person to do it?
Because I thought it was really hard to do that. Like, to take a selfie. We've watched you guys growing up. You guys have always done that. You've always taken pictures looking like whatever. You don't care. And you always look good because you're young. When you're young, you always look good. But you guys still keep doing it. It's kind of like just whatever. You post your picture. But for us, when we grew up, we never took really that many pictures. And we never definitely posted one that we didn't think we looked good in. Mm-hmm. So just to put a picture of your old face, just take a picture and go, oh, this is me, and post it. And that takes a lot of courage to put it out there for everyone to see.
So courage. Okay. It does. Well, one, I do think it takes a lot of courage to put it out there and see. Mm-hmm. Two, I think it makes other people your age see it and be like, oh, that's that's what I look like in the morning too. I think it's comforting. Mm-hmm. But three, I think there used to be a stigma against people that posted selfies. People would say that person was conceited. They'd be like, oh, she thinks she's so cute, she's posting a selfie. But I feel like we've really gotten away from that. And if the younger generation's going to get away from it, then I think by all means, come with us, older generation. I think it's beautiful that you're doing it. I'm proud of you.
We should, because I Googled the numbers of baby boomers, which I'm at the last year of the baby boomers, mm-hmm. and your generation and Gen Z. And you have 2 million more.
Yeah, we're about equal.
We have 70 million, yeah, and you have 72 million, and Gen Z was 69 million.
I love that.
If you add Gen Z and millennial together, you guys kill us. But separately, we're right there. So why wouldn't we have more space out there?
You should have more space out there.
Yeah, and all our kids are grown up, so we should be playing around and doing all our fun stuff like you guys are.
It is ironic because you told me that the majority of podcasts, Instagram, and TikToks are targeted to millennials and Gen Zers.
Yes, they said if it's going to be successful, it needs to be interesting, teach them something, but be targeted to millennials and Gen Z. And I was like, what in the world?
So a podcast, TikToks, anything that does well in media is targeted to the younger generations. And you're saying that's ironic because there's just as many of you baby boomers out there in the world.
Right.
That's interesting.
And probably with equally the expendable income.
And more time on their hands.
So what in the world is that all about?
Well,
Did we just stop? Like when you Google it, you go older people or 45 or 50 and older podcast, or how to keep young or hip, and it's like stay active, read books, and all the podcasts were kind of, some of them were good, like the ones for work or marketing or like knowledge like that is business or whatever. I think those go across all ages. But other than that, it's kind of like words that work would be a podcast.
Hold on. These are podcasts that are aimed for people 50 plus. Is that the category you're reading?
Yeah.
Okay. So you read some of those to me, and it's like they're the true crime, design, science, human experience, things like that. And you're saying you want more fun ones. Like, are you saying that those themselves are boring and ageist? Not ageist, but
they're just not. I mean, like, I think they're very interesting. They're just not that much fun. And like, hey, go out there and do this or that. Or they don't talk about the funny things that are going on in their lives, which would be a lot more interesting to me than listening, because you guys told me some podcasts to go listen to that were really good, and I literally fell asleep in one of them.
Okay, so we told you some podcasts to listen to for younger people that were targeted to younger people.
That were really successful.
And you fell asleep listening to those.
Because they were so boring
So
to me.
Right, so are you saying for the 50 plus category there's plenty more space and you wish it wasn't so boring?
Yes, we have a lot of space. We need some people to do it. So I was thinking, we have a lot of people that are my age following this podcast that have time and money, and there's a lot of people your age that know how to do all this stuff, and they need to come together and do some podcasts.
Well, it's exactly what we're doing.
Yes, but we need more of this.
Okay,
There's
I like
plenty
that.
of space out there for everyone to join in.
Plenty of space in the category. You're finding some holes.
Yeah, this is a big hole.
Big hole. So
and I'm pretty sure there's also some stoolies that are getting up there too.
In age.
In age,
Well, yeah. Everybody, we're all
including Dave.
We're all getting older. Yeah. Okay, so some of the things that I had done for the staying relative was, I think that one, trying new things. All of mine come back to like, don't fight the times. So it's actually one of the things my father-in-law taught me, but he told me one night at dinner, like, he is constantly concerned and fascinated with what the younger generations are doing. One, because they're the future, but two, because the world's constantly changing. So old people can either fight that, or they can get really interested in that, and then the two can work together and grow together, because an older person has so much to teach a younger person, but also us younger people are just as valuable. Like, just because we don't have the amount of experience doesn't mean we lack knowledge or we don't have new ideas. So like, the crossover is really important, and it's less like resenting. Right when the millennials got coined, the millennials, people are like, oh, the millennials, they don't work hard. You know, there's all these problems with the millennials. But really, when you uncover that, you see that the crossover is like the most beautiful product ever. Don't you think?
Yes.
Don't resent the young ones. Now, you should argue back to me right now.
Don't blow off the older ones.
I was a terrible teacher to you last week.
You were.
I could help you more. That should be your argument here.
No, it definitely is that. No, not last week, the last 6 months.
So you should tell me.
First of all, you were like, I am just going to do it. Don't worry, Mom, I got it. You just be you, and I'll video you and do whatever. And then you got really busy, and you're like, you need to do more. And then a friend of mine said, Alex needs to teach you how you can learn it. And then you were kind of like, by then you were so frustrated with me that I don't even think you wanted to try to teach me anything, but you understood that was probably the case.
Well, hold on. Let's take it to the concept range. So I'm a young person. You're an old person. Let's like less about us, more about the concept. And I think it's that I'm the younger one. You're the older one. And instead of you coming to see what I'm doing, I should have been helping you and teaching you.
Well, because I kept asking and you kept saying, just do this. And I never understood what you were saying.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it just should go both ways. And as the younger person, I should have taught you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's true. But I do think that younger people blow off older people more than older people get mad at younger people. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, it's the lonely person in the nursing home.
Oh, I'm not that old.
No, I'm just saying that's the case in point. You always say people that are so young forget to go visit their grandparents and
they
things.
They do. It's terrible.
In the nursing home.
Yeah.
It's
because
that.
But if you go, they really have a lot to say.
No,
it's
my
interesting.
Gosh,
yeah.
They have so much to say.
And besides that, if they're your relative, you really do need to spend some time with them.
I'm saying more on the concept of
young, learning. Yeah.
No, young people just they forget their elders.
Yeah, they do.
You always told me that.
Yes.
Okay, what else you got, girl?
But the case in point being, okay, well, you just covered that part. Oh, you guys also get your news from a different place. That was another thing. So I was reading in this book, Words at Work. It also said by 2040, that will be the last time that a person reads a newspaper. By 2040, which we're almost there anyway. Like, I mean, it's very rare. We still get the Wall Street Journal. We still get the Oklahoman. But now we just do the Oklahoman online. So pretty soon it'll be that way. But you guys, you called it confirmation bias. You guys get your news. So let me explain this first. We used to be able to get all of our news unbiased, true, correct, honest, whatever. You could get it from the news. You could get it from all the people that you lived around. Like that, my dad was in the Korean War. Everyone was kind of in a war. We knew the history. We knew this. We knew everything came from. We used to sit and always watch the president do their speech. But nowadays, you guys listen only to. I mean, where do you get your news? Where do you get your news?
I get my news from Twitter or Instagram. Can pretty much give you. I can go to Yahoo or something and just Google and but e-news, like in the Instagram app, I'll do e-news. Now I'm an exception because I have a person every morning. Graham, my husband, reads every news thing from 6 to 8, and I do hear all of the news. But where does Alex Bennett get her news? Instagram and Twitter.
So that's what this book was saying. It used to be you could get still good news even from pop culture. Mm-hmm. But now everything is so out there. Whatever you get from pop culture is going to be only what that person thinks. Everyone can put what they think out. So that's what you were calling confirmation bias. You listen to whoever you want to, but it's really just their opinion, and it's someone who you like how they think, and that's how you get your news.
So that's the problem. That's the problem with getting news from an individual. So for instance, the person that's in my head right now is a Brittany Aldean, who has gone, she's a public figure that's gone semi-political. So you could get, vaccination news from her. She would be confirmation bias. So she would be confirming somebody that believed what she believed. Mm-hmm. She would not ever be introducing two opinions, conflicting opinions to each other. And E! News, for instance, would do a little bit. They probably wouldn't cover it, but a Yahoo or something would be pretty unbiased, and they might give you both sides or report both sides. But on Instagram and Twitter, it's dangerous because you're looking at an individual and they have a certain belief.
And it's fleeting.
Well, yeah, and then you find one that believes one way, so then you start to follow a couple that believe the same way.
Right.
And the best thing they said to do when this whole confirmation bias thing came out was follow people from both sides, but they said that can be so anxiety triggering.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
The two sides would be totally different, that as a person, it's more comforting to just pick one and follow that. You know how I feel about all this, though. I don't care.
You don't, but you guys, you got to be able to get news somewhere that's just a fact-based news. It's so hard now.
Oh, that's the hottest topic ever right now, though. It's where do you get your news?
Yeah. Okay. I don't even know why I wanted to bring that up, but I was just so interested about that, thinking everything can just be how they want it to be. So the other thing was, and this kind of goes back to the podcast thing, women are the hardest to poll compared to men, which I was thinking about this with Barstool Sports. Men are the easiest target because they basically can kind of think, since they just can focus on one thing, they go from what they're young, whatever their beliefs are, you generally go, this is what this book said, stay that way the whole way through. So if one is a Democrat and he believes in this type of financial thing or whatever, he would generally stay that way his whole life.
Okay.
But women are different. They said trying to poll women is the hardest thing to do because as different as women are to men, women are to each other. So you're never going to find a group of women that all generally believe exactly the same or feel the same way about it as a group of guys might. And they change throughout the years. So they have kids, they work, they don't work, they're stay-at-home moms, they're career women, they decided never to have kids. All of those have such extreme views. And when they go through the life changes, so it'd be well, when I had kids and they were young, I thought this. Now my kids are in middle school, and now this has changed, and I think that. And now my kids have grown away, and everything in life has completely changed again, and now I think this. They kind of grow and progress in their life and their thinking. They're more apt to change even their political beliefs by what they read or see as opposed to men. And they also spend most of the money. So they make the decisions on they make the decisions on everything that goes at the house generally, even if they're the working ones. What kind of beer they buy for the refrigerator, everything they do, what their kids do, what their parents do, what their in-laws do when they get older. Women are the ones that they want to target, but they're the hardest to target.
And what do you make of that?
I think more women should be doing podcasts
Why?
because they have so much more information because the way that they think.
Could you argue that that men should be doing more podcasts because they have more concrete views, so they would have more information on their view, and it would be solid?
No, because it wouldn't be solid.
Well, it would be if
If they only believed one way forever.
which is what you're saying they do.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, I'm just saying that because I first of all, I thought that was really interesting that they said they're the most interesting but the hardest to poll because they change so much through their ups and downs in their life cycle, where a man kind of just stays the same. Like generally, unless it's a stay-at-home dad, which is now more common, then they wouldn't go through all those ups and downs. Their life would stay the same. They work, they come home, they see the kids. They work, they do this, they work, the kids grow up. Everything stays the same kind of for a guy. For a woman, even if she works, she's more in that kid cycle than a guy is.
I think what was most interesting to me about what you said was that women are as different to each other as they are to men.
I know.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what do you make of that?
I think that's probably why women argue a lot.
Probably, and just on the most basic example is like when there's a group of 5 women and a group of 5 men, there's going to be so much more conflict and disagreement and feelings in the women's circle, and the men are going to be like, yeah.
From how to pay the tab.
How to pay the tab.
No, I mean, it could be an argument over here about how to do it. And the guys, I don't even know how they do it. They just get it done and they're gone.
Oh, here's a question for you, completely unrelated. If you go out to, well, not unrelated, but if you went out to dinner with 5 couples, right? Everyone has a spouse there. When the tab comes, are you splitting it 5 ways or are you taking it down to what everybody had?
I think we just do the credit card shuffle and move on.
5 ways.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you mean you pick one person's credit card?
Yeah, I'm just
gosh.
kidding.
I'm not coming to that dinner.
No.
Do you divide by 5 or are you like, who
You
got
divide
what?
by 5. I would divide by 5.
Okay.
Otherwise, they should have asked for their separate tab right at the beginning.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know. I just thought that was fun.
Yeah. I mean, that sucks for the people who had 1 drink compared to the guy who had 5.
Right.
Or the person who ordered the $40 glass tequila. But, if that's the case, they would say, don't put me in on that.
Right. I just figured, so at our age right now, I feel like when we go out in New York, everybody orders, like we have a price range that everybody, like we just look at the cheapest glass of wine type thing.
Oh.
Like, so we're kind of all on the same playing field. Or if you got like a margarita and you both got the same type of tequila, like the tab's pretty even. But I figure when you got to be your age,
It can vary.
it can totally vary.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's some that drink a lot and some that go, I'm done after 1.
Well, some get really nice tequila or
Yeah.
wine, and some people are like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So that starts to
But
make
generally,
it.
if you get a nice bottle of wine, everyone splits it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they'll go, who wants the wine?
I've been having flashes of airports lately in my brain.
Uh-huh.
And it's because I think my body wants to travel. Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
Like, I think it's like I want to go to a hot spot or something.
I mean, because where it's warm and it's a beach?
I think, yeah, not a popular spot, a warm spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
not, I don't want to go to
No,
a
I don't
hot
know.
spot.
That's been kind of looking good to me too. I don't know why. Maybe they're blasting that on some social media site and you don't even notice it. So it's like subconscious.
I'm seeing a lot of Miami.
You are. Yeah,
And I'm like,
maybe.
oh.
Maybe.
Have you been enjoying New York, Mom, since you've been here so long?
Uh-huh. It's just, yeah, I'm trying to get it used to running every errand on foot. Like sometimes that can be exhausting. It's a lot of work.
I'm more likely, even though the stores are all so close and I can get anything, I do Amazon a good bit. Now, if I know something's on my way home, like my eye patches are at Sephora, I'm like, I'll go get those. But then if there's like a little thing that I know I'm going to need in 5 days,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just going to order that.
Or you can have it delivered.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But it is easier just to order it on Amazon.
It's so easy.
Also, when you're just walking home and you're walking by there, you've got so much crap in your hands. You go, I cannot walk in that store and get one more thing on my body.
But man, don't you just love this city?
I do. There's just everything's everywhere.
I'm proud of you for this weekend. You self-manage. Like you just kind of are like a New York resident living your life. Oh my gosh, you went over to your neighbor's house.
I did. I got to go next door and meet her and her 2 puppies and chat. It was fun.
So do you have a friend?
Yeah.
You have a couple friends.
Couple of friends. Yeah.
Good job, Mom. I'm proud of you. I feel like you're loving it, and you look great, too.
Oh, thank you. That's sweet.
Yes, you're welcome.
So, Alex, do you live to work or work to live?
I live to work. I live to work, not work. Yep, I do not work to live. I live to work. What do you do?
I don't know.
That's really?
I must work to live.
Really? You work to live?
I must live to work.
I live to work for sure. Live to
Okay,
work.
I live to work. That's a hard one.
Do you eat to live or live to eat?
What?
So some people eat out of necessity because they get hungry.
Oh, I wish that was me.
Okay, so you live to eat,
I live to eat.
not eat to live.
Yeah.
Okay.
I generally live to eat pizza, and I really can't eat pizza because I'm lactose intolerant, but that's the one thing I'm going to eat just to suffer through it.
And let me tell
that's
you,
definitely living to eat.
there's no better city to do that in
That's right.
than this one.
I don't get to do it very often, but I do get to do it some.
Another segment you have, purchase of the week. What was your best purchase of the week, Mom?
I didn't have I didn't really buy anything this week, but I did get a gift from Joe. He sent me this shirt and a couple of others and a skirt and a dress. I was so excited.
Let's talk about actually how cute that whole scenario was.
That was really cute.
So my dad was here 2 weeks ago, and when he left, he called me and he's like, I sent your mom some clothes. And I was like, that was so nice and supportive of him.
It was. And he even went to the point of saying, you can wear that shirt with other stuff besides the skirt.
Oh,
I
like
was
it's a
like,
versatile
yeah.
shirt.
Thank you.
I will say that the color looks like it compliments you great. He does pick out good clothes for you.
Yeah, and most of it's blue.
Mm-hmm. He likes
That's
blue
the
on
thing, yeah,
you.
That's blue.
My best purchase of the week was without a doubt zebra cakes.
Oh.
Let me tell you what, you can get 10. So I had a baby shower and I was on cake duty, and I happened to know that the mother-to-be loves zebra cakes.
Uh-huh.
So I got
Like in a box, out of a box, zebra cakes.
out of a box zebra cakes.
And what's the brand?
Oh, Little Debbie.
Okay, they're Little Debbie's in case people don't know.
Oh, they're gonna know. Actually, that's not true. It doesn't seem to be an East Coast thing.
No, I think I was going to say it doesn't. I'm surprised you guys know what they are.
Everybody at the shower was like, they're from the East Coast, and they're like, I haven't heard of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, well, we definitely had it in the Midwest because I used to love zebra cakes.
I don't know. So I've never tasted a zebra cake, but I've had some of the others.
So you can get 10, a box of 10 for $2.95.
Okay, that's disgusting.
So it was like my total of the
are
cake.
they like 30 cents a piece?
I'm not even kidding you. The whole entire cake was like $11.
That's when you know they're healthy.
I was like, oh my gosh. Graham was ordering it, and he's like, I must not have enough. And I'm like, no, you do.
It's like lard
Lard.
and some sugar.
I put it on Twitter though, and people knew the zebra. We'll have you make. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Lil Debbie versus Lil Kim,
Oh, okay.
and you're gonna make this. Will by the time this airs, the cakes will already be made. But you're gonna do oatmeal cream pies, homemade version versus Lil Debbie.
Okay.
We'll see who wins. You got to get butter flavored Crisco to make that, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna make the not healthy kind.
So the debate on Twitter was.
I don't think you could make the healthy kind to be in competition with Little Debbie's.
Couldn't even come close.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to go on healthy on this. But we were having a debate on Twitter. What's the best Little Debbie dessert?
Yeah, it's Twinkie and they're not those.
That's a Hostess.
Oh yeah, Hostess Twinkie and Hostess. What's the chocolate one with the white in the middle? Not a ding dong. I think they're ding dongs.
I think it's a ding dong. People
Yeah.
like those. Those are so
good.
But so the Twinkie's the one that I think can compete with the zebra cake, but they're not allowed to compete because it's a Little Debbie competition.
Okay.
Honey bun, that's one.
I've never had a honey bun.
A lot of people like the Christmas trees. They look like those taste
Yeah.
the same as the zebra cakes, though. But they just have
well,
sprinkles.
then I probably have had that. Okay.
Yeah, Swiss roll. Have you had that? Nutter butter. Cosmic brownie.
No.
Okay, we're gonna totally go to the store after this.
Ooh.
Mom, this was a great episode.
I hope so.
I'm proud of you.
I hope you learned a lot about people.
Speaking of that, do you want to elaborate on like the elephant in the room, maybe like about your like any reactions from your fight last week?
A lot of people that, from what I heard, were like, "Thank God you put that out there because like that's so relatable."
Really? Because I got one from my friend who I totally related to, and she said, "Ooh, that was a cringy episode."
But it's the reality. Here's the thing:
I was like, it is cringy.
but we couldn't have done a non-fighting episode. Like people know how it is when you're in a fight with your mom. You can't come in this room and be like, "Let's sing Kumbaya and talk about New York." It's like not gonna happen.
Uh-oh. Next time, you know what we're going to do? We're
What?
just going to get those blow-up baseball bats and just knock the crap out of each other.
Hit each other?
They're like blow-up.
Oh, blow up. Sorry, I missed that part. There's these things in New York called break rooms
Or crack
rooms.
Yeah, I think it's something like that where you get like
Rage
rage rooms.
And you put on the suits and you go and break glass and things. I don't have that level of anger. Like I don't know if I would thrive in that room, but I'd like to go.
It'd be fun to try.
It'd be a blast to try. Guys, leave us a review, like, comment, and subscribe on the podcast. Send it to a friend. Oh my gosh, if you have anybody that's over the age of 50, send it to them so they can take a selfie.
Yes, and take a selfie and tag us in it.
That is so cute. I love
It's
that.
very empowering, I promise.
I think that's the cutest thing ever. I'm really proud of you, Mom.
I bet Queen Elizabeth can do it.
I think the list of things she can't do would be shorter than the ones that she can.
Oh, I wish we could meet her.
Oh, that's so sad. I don't know that we can.
No.
If anyone has any connects to Queen Elizabeth out there,
DM us, please.
Yeah.
Next week's the
Wait,
finance
her
episode.
or Paul McCartney, either one will work.
Oh, Paul. I think we could find Paul faster. Next week's the finance episode. And
Yes, I'm so excited.
other than that, leave a review and take a selfie.
Have a good week, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.